those of you who are new here, welcome to my channel where I grace ambitious women with all things self-love. Oh my goodness, I feel the pressure radiating off of you, okay? We're gonna have to take that down a couple of notches, but that's why I'm here. To get you feeling confident in your decision making instead of overthinking every single action you take. Because let's face it, you'd be 10 times farther in your goals if you just trusted yourself a little more and stop letting analysis paralysis get you at every step. Don't get me wrong, we still like quality over here. We just know how to get it without all the anxiety. And the whole point of this video is to get you there too. So if you're ready to take charge of your decisions and finally feel in control of your goals without the constant second guessing, here's the 3 mindset shifts that will help you to stop overthinking. There are many times in life when you'll be doing something for the first time. You did it as a kid while you were learning to walk, but it seemed like it was a little less pressure. The stakes were a little lower. In adulthood, it seems like everything means something, and failure is just not an option. But let me tell you something. It is. As long as you're actually trying, is it really failure? In my opinion, it's not. And it would really help your mental health if you decided to stop thinking about it in that way too. So if you are in the position where you're doing something for the first time, the best perspective to have is to come at it like it's all an experiment. So to put something like this into practice, what you're going to want to do is you're going to start with doing some research. Come up with a hypothesis, test it out, and then you're going to want to look at the results. You're going to ask yourself, did it work? If so, great. You're going to want to keep going in that direction. Or if it's a one and done kind of thing, move on to your next project with joy. If it didn't work, first of all, you're not going to be super bummed. Yes, it may take a little longer to get where you want to go, but that's okay. But you're going to want to use the knowledge that you gained from your previous experiment to come up with another hypothesis. Maybe do a little more research to get some better footing, and then test again. When you're coming at something for the first time, you're going to have to understand that there will be a period of learning, and that's just a natural part of the process. Most times, it's a part of the process that you can't skip over. So overthinking it just doesn't work. You have to do the work. And I know you want things to move quickly and efficiently. You want things to be perfect, and you don't want to let yourself or others down. So if you're really feeling the pressure right now, let's talk about what to do. So the pressure's on, whether it's internal or external. Maybe you invested a lot of money into your business and it needs to work. Maybe your boss just gave you a huge project to lead that you've never done before. Long story short, you feel like failure is not an option. So, if it's that important, I'm gonna tell you the trick. Lean on the support of others. You're probably thinking, no, I have to do this all by myself. I have to prove myself. I have to make sure that I'm the one who does it because it was a task that was given specifically to me. Although that's partially true, I'm sure that when you were given the specific task or responsibility, the person didn't say, you have to do this all by yourself with no support. Thankfully, most of the times when we need support, there are ways that we can access it, whether through doing some research or leaning on someone else within our circle, whether that's family, friends, or maybe peers at work. Especially if you're in a position where you're doing something for the first time, but you know of somebody else who's done it and gotten the results that you want, try to seek their support, either by directly reaching out to them, or maybe if they're not that accessible to you, then try to see if they've had any interviews, wrote any blogs, or any type of writings they did about their experience or this particular task that you have to do. Support and resources are out there. You just have to be brave enough to seek it out and a little more open to the fact that you can access the help. With that being said, looking at the path of others and taking their advice can get you pretty far, but sometimes it won't give you the whole picture. So, what do? If you're at the point where you're looking at a really big picture goal, a lot of the times there will be these little steps that you have to figure out along the way. You have to get comfortable with the fact that getting things right may take some time. Oftentimes we feel overwhelmed because there is this rigid timeline that we either put on ourselves or we feel like others have put on us. So if we're feeling overwhelmed and we're the ones putting the strict timelines on ourselves, we really have to ask, is it worth it? Is it worth the added stress and headache to get this done in a shorter timeline? Or do it right and go through all the steps that we need to take naturally in order to get it done in a timeline that best works for us while still also getting the job done? If somebody else is giving you a really strict timeline, say a boss at work or someone else, then you have to ask yourself, can I actually do this task in the allotted time? If I really need to do so, what support am I going to look for so I can get it done? And if it's something where even with support, it's still going to take quite a while, then make it known to your boss. Make it known to that other person so you can manage their expectations. Because managed expectations are a lot better than blow-ups that happened when you get to the end of the timeline and the work still isn't done. All in all, communication is key, and also having the room for some grace. So there's also another element at play here, which is that a lot of times when you're on a journey towards a big picture goal, there will be a lot of no's on your way to that yes. And you gotta be comfortable with that too. A lot of times, things are a volume game. You either have to put in the reps over and over and over to get it right, or you have to keep connecting with people in order to get to a point where you're reaching acceptance or, a sale, if that's what you're doing. During this process, it can be so easy to become overwhelmed because you never know when you're gonna get that yes. And hearing all those no's may make you feel even more overwhelmed because you feel like you're stuck in this position where you don't want to be in. And there's this uncertainty that comes with your direction. Or maybe at this point you're thinking, I'm getting no. The answer is point blank no. But that's when you have to remember that it's all about playing the game. And part of the game is oftentimes hearing no. Keeping this in mind, I actually had a mentor who once said to keep a no journal or a no tracker. This way, you're marking down all the no's you're getting, and she called it a no quota. So at the end of the day, you have a bunch of no's, but you know that each no is leading you one step closer to a yes. But not only this, but each no is also tracking the fact that you tried. Each one of those no's is a symbol of the fact that you put yourself out there and you worked towards getting that positive outcome. And that is a win in and of itself because you've built the skill and you're on your way to not only improving the skill, but mastering it with every opportunity that you face. So don't see your no's as a loss, see them as lessons. And each lesson will get you closer and closer to mastery. You are going to get it, but the journey will be so painful and slow if you keep getting stuck overthinking every decision. What I really hope is that this video not only showed you that it's not that serious, but also the fact that you have to trust the process instead of focusing so much on your desired outcome. It's actually going through the journey that prepares you most to be the person who is capable of receiving those outcomes. As always, if you're looking for more support and encouragement on your unique journey, don't forget to subscribe. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.